What we are driven by is avoiding pain and seeking pleasure. We are driven to go out into the world and pursue the things, experiences, people that are supposedly making us happy. And we are trying to avoid those that we think make us unhappy. There's an interesting point in your spiritual journey where you realize that this is not the case, where you have a deep insight where you suddenly realize that all your efforts to strive to achieve something in the world, some certain form of experience, were completely pointless. That they were not aimed at the right target. You in that moment realize that happiness is on a different level, is found on a different level. And today I want to talk especially about the difference between why we seek happiness in the outside world, in the first place, in the ordinary state of mind, and then compared to the state where we realize that happiness is not found in those pursuits and instead seek happiness directly. So the difference between those two different approaches is very significant. In the first one, you unconsciously give the power away. You give the power over your own state of mind away to experiences, people, things, maybe even your own goals. So you put a condition onto your happiness. And not only onto your happiness, but your ability to accept and love whatever it is you're experiencing. You say, I have certain conditions. Only when those are met will I be happy, accepting, and loving. You don't do that consciously. You have certain ideas and preferences for what you like and what you dislike. And by doing that, you have put a filter onto your experience. You say, I only accept those and I push away those other ones. And I only want those that make me feel good. But they inherently have no capacity to make you happy or unhappy by and in and of themselves. That's your power and you give it away to those experiences. That's the first insight you have to grasp really deeply. And then you will try to find a more intelligent approach, a more direct approach that is not based on unconscious, illusory projection. And when you realize that, you go on to experience yourself as the source of unconditional love. And when you realize that, you see how much work you have to do. That's really only the start. Because so far you have put a very big restraint on your ability to accept and love whatever you are presented with. And when you realize that this is in your power and that really what you want is unconditional love, there's a lot of work to do to remove all of those restrictions that you unconsciously put onto reality thus far. And that's what makes you suffer. You yourself do that through your unconscious behavior. By realizing unconditional love is your true, natural, unrestrained state, you strive to achieve that. And that's really what the journey is about with spiritual practice, is to become all-accepting. Once you have realized the non-dual nature of reality, where you yourself doesn't exist apart from what is arising, but is actually one pure potential field of consciousness that's arising as the forms, as that's what you're perceiving right now, then you realize that there's really no reason not to accept all of it. Because it's all of the same quality, it all arises from the same pure potential. And that's really the beauty of this insight, and that's why I wanted to share it with you. You are really 100% responsible for your happiness. And as long as you cannot love unconditionally, you will never be happy. Because there will always be things that you will project onto, that they are the reason for your unhappiness. And then the next step in actually getting to unconditional love is to experience every moment consciously. So consciously that you can, in the moment the experience arises, distinguish between what is actually true, what is actually arising on the one hand side, and what is your projection that you automatically, immediately put onto that experience on the other side. And when you have been able to stay in that state for a prolonged period of time, when you become so conscious that you can pick up those differences as in the moment they arise, over time you will stop your mind from doing that, and you will recognize the beauty of existence arising in every moment. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. If you like those videos, please consider donating to the channel, and visit my website if you want to read a little bit about those topics. Sometimes I put certain ideas only in the written format and think they are more suited to a written article. So if you like to read, you can check out my website as well. If you want to have personal guidance on your journey towards self-realization, let me know. I have also a coaching program. You can see more information on that on my website as well. And yeah, with all of that, give the video a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.